is Maki. Are you enjoying the movie Gundam Seed Freedom? In Japan, it has been announced that the movie will gradually end its theatrical run from May 17 to May 23. The movie has been entertaining fans for about 4 months since its release on January 26. Today, I'm going to discuss content that contains spoilers from the movie. For those who prefer to watch the movie without prior information, I recommend watching this show after you've seen the movie. From now on, we will be conducting an electronic attack on the Foundation Kingdom base. Please press the subscribe button to begin injecting the computer virus. The fate of the Earth rests on your finger. Official media has launched an initiative using X to solicit feedback from fans. A video announcing the initiative has also been released to entertain fans. In the movie, there is a scene where Kira and Athrun fight, with unique lines spoken by the voice actors. The movie is about to end, and Kira appears unsure of how to express his gratitude to the fans. Just like in the movie, Athrun punches Kira to bring him back to his senses. Athrun tells Kira you lack far too much knowledge about SNS. Then an announcement is made using X to solicit feedback from fans. Fans in Japan enjoyed the comical nature of this video. Some commented it seems like Athrun is the one who lacks SNS knowledge. In fact, in the special novel that accompanies the movie, Athrun is depicted as being unfamiliar with the culture of commoners. There is also a scene where he is presented with a cabbage-based dish and wonders, is there something edible? Athrun is active as a member of the secret organization Terminal, and Marin, an expert in information, accompanies him as his partner. Perhaps it is thanks to Marin that he has learned about SNS and proudly talks about it in front of Kira. When you think about it, Athrun is quite adorable. Next, you can search for feedback from Japanese fans using the hashtag #SeedFreedomFinale. Note that finale is in Japanese. I will include this hashtag in the description of this program. Feel free to copy and use it. Many fans also discuss their thoughts along with photos of model kits and figures. Just looking at the pictures is interesting. While we're on the subject, let's take a closer look at the fight scene between Kira and Athrun. I'll analyze the additional scenes and psychological portrayals of the characters that were added in the novel version. When Kira and Athrun start fighting, Shin tries to get between them. Hilda stops Shen, who refuses to give up mediating even after being knocked away. Having a best friend who can bring you back up when you're down is a good thing, Hilda says. This shows Hilda's strong trust in Kira and Athrun. Of course, it was this strong trust that led her to stop Shin's intervention. But the novel reveals more than that. A little later, as Athrun and his team are starting a new strategy and walking through the corridors, Athrun reflects on the earlier fight and wonders if he was too hard on Kira. Hilda turns to Athrun and says, "Don't worry. If you hadn't hit him, I would have." Although Hilda is smiling at this moment, Athrun senses a strong anger behind her smile. Feeling a strong chill, Athrun thinks to himself, "You're having a hard time too," directed at Kira. Hilda has romantic feelings for Lars. Out of love for Lars, she defected from Zaft and served as a troop on the battleship Eternal. In the post-war scenes of Sea Destiny, Hilda's complex emotions are briefly portrayed. While some were surprised or looked unkindly at the scene of Kiro and Lars embracing, Hilda alone is shown with a face that bears the pain of unrequited love. Still worshipping Lars, Hilda recognizes Kiro and treats him with respect as her captain. At the beginning of the movie, Hilda's cooperative attitude is shown as she follows Kiro's instructions. In the middle of the movie, Kiro brags out that Lars betrayed me. Although the result of a close mental manipulation, Kiro's words were deeply shocking to Hilda. For Hilda, who deeply respects Lars, Kiro's statement was thoughtless. That's why she didn't stop Athrun from hitting Kiro in that scene. She trusted Athrun and also harbored some anger towards Kiro. Imagining what's in Hilda's heart while watching this scene might lead to new insights. Many fans may have harbored small doubts about Athrun's words. In the scene where Athrun says the Lars I know is not the person Kiro describes, Marl and others show signs of doubt. It's a pretty funny scene. After the fight, as they walk down the corridor, Marin says to Athrun, I was a little surprised to hear you talk about such things. Athrun replies with a troubled look, I said it because it was necessary. Marin, with a mischievous expression, tells Athrun that is something I would like to share with Representative Ather. Athrun becomes flustered. Athrun thinks that the words he spoke to Kiro could also apply to himself. He thinks about how he often gets too caught up in his own feelings and puts off considering the feelings of others. Athrun awkwardly admits that means I'm also trying to improve the bad parts of myself. Marin watches Athrun's flustered state with amusement and laughs. The film shows a strong bond of trust between Kakali and Athrun. However, there were no scenes of direct face-to-face communication. If a story about the events after the movie were to be made, it could portray Athrun's changes. I look forward to seeing Athrun seriously deal with Kakali's feelings and remember the words he spoke to Kiro. Thank you for watching until the end. Let's meet again in the next program.